All right, people. So, welcome to another episode of Fifth Cast with myself, DAZ. We've got Paul here, aka Pash, and we have our special guest today, Gawa. We're down here at the Fifth Element building on Skank FM, and we thought it would be absolutely amazing to get a moment to catch up with Gawa. Gawa has been such an inspiration and asset to this charity over, I suppose, the past year and a half or so.
Yeah, exactly.
Possibly even more. How long have you been in Belfast for, firstly, Gawa?
Roughly 2 years.
2 years.
Since 2024 in August.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the 2 years that you have been in Belfast, you've managed to find us at Fifth Element, and it's become like a second home to you.
Exactly.
You've got such passion for breaking. You're an amazingly talented b-boy.
Appreciate it, bro.
And and there's been so much good that has come from you being here at Fifth Element. We've watched you perform in shows. We've watched you teach young people how to break. You've helped out at events. You've volunteered for the charity on many occasions as well. But I suppose what we would like to do is find out more about you, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And this is something that we do with all our artists at Fifth Element and Skank FM. We love to know the background of the artist, right? And how they got into their craft and their culture of hip hop, basically. So maybe we can take it way back to when Gawa was just a little boy, and you can explain to us where you grew up,
Right.
the environment that you grew up in, and what it was like for you as a child, and I suppose how you discovered breaking, how you discovered hip hop culture.
Right. Okay, this is B-Boy Gawa representing Dragon Trap Crew and Stone Crew. So I will start with my name first. Why it's called Gawa? Because when I started breaking 15 years ago, I was very short, very small, very slim. So in my hometown accent, where I'm from is called Ningxia City, Gansu province in west of China, which is a very tiny city. And Gawa in our hometown dialect means kid.
Okay.
So I was like the smallest, the youngest, and like the beginner. So they call me Gawa. And since then, I use that name until right now.
Yeah.
Cool.
So my hometown is quite a little bit in the west of China. It is very small, not that advanced developed city, and it's surrounded by the mountains. So when I started breaking, I actually learned from another bigger guy, and he just showed us how to do two-step and like handstand. And he is not a professional dancer, and he just saw online. Back at the time around 2010, we didn't have loads of hip hop resources on Chinese social media. It's very hard to find a proper teaching tutorial, right? And you even don't know loads of names to search. So after that, I started practice a little bit, and then I made my crews. It's called Stone Crew. I joined those guys, and we share loads of moves, and we practice together. So that's how I started. And because we're all like school kids, we just went to the studio, which we rent back the time. Everybody will pay a part from our parents' money, and we pay for the rent, and we just practice. So back the time before we had a proper studio, that's not even studio, just like a dance room we rent from another like art school. So we just went out to dance in the park. You practice with a six-step, with a headstand on the concrete floor. And I even practice my window mill on the concrete floor. So I will just injure my back, the skin, And after we got a proper studio, so everything was getting better. So we knew how to teach more and more kids, and that's kind of like a part-time job. And I remember my very first commercial show, and I earned like 50 RMB, which equals around £5
Nice.
at a nightclub. And everything you need to do is just to go like a routine and dance to show for a couple of minutes, you know. But the owner was so greedy. He wanted us to dance more, but in the end, he just paid us £5, you know, because we were all kids. And then back the time we got a crew leader, our captain. His name is Stone. That's why we call our crew as Stone Crew, like a solid, like a strong, right? And then another guy who also told me he was another team leader later, and he went to Beijing to officially learn, and he just dropped off from his high school. He didn't graduate from high school, and he just dropped off to learn breaking. Back time in Beijing is called CMA. I think it's called China Media College, something like this. They hired loads of international b-boys, like b-boy Scout from Korea, b-boy Classio from Brazil, and also b-boy Puzzle from Canada, Supernatural's crew, and also b-boy what's his name? Stripes from America. So every time that guy, his name is Momo, he's our like big brother. He went to the school and learned something he got from those b-boys, and he will share the moves. And when we grew up a little bit, so we watched a lot of breaking and like tutorial videos to learn, because no one told us.
Yeah.
We only have like around 5 or 6 of us in a crew. We're all kids like in school. And I remember we traveled a long time to the bigger city. It's our capital city in province. It's called Lanzhou City. We have to travel like 2 hours, and then to look for another studios, another b-boys to learn. But we were kind of like very weak at that time, like mentally and also physically. And you need to be very brave, you know, to ask people to say, could you please share and teach us some moves. Basically, we just sit and practice at the very back of the floor and to watch them dance, and then we just follow, and then we finally brave enough to ask, could you teach us? And then they could teach you a little moves. That's how I learned breaking.
Nice.
And before my university, I was kind of like a very amateur, you know, just like for fun, you know, for hobby. But when I moved to university, I got a chance to go for more and more bigger competition, and a lot of chances to compete and to learn from a more stronger b-boy. I practice a lot, so that's when I knew more on the information about hip hop, you know, about the culture itself, about like the history, and also about like how to go for a proper training, how to live like a proper b-boy life.
Yeah.
That's basically the story, how it started.
I mean, it's kind of similar to Pash in a sense, where like Pash, obviously you can tell your story, but you grew up in Armagh. And it's kind of like a rural, like out of the city, small town, where there's not a lot of hip hop culture, I would imagine.
None.
So, but yeah, I suppose like you, Gawa, Pash ventured into the big city of Belfast to find other breakers that were doing similar things and learnt off them, and was able to take those learnings and develop not only his own skills, but your passion for hip hop as well.
Yeah, that's it, man. Like you were saying there, just like you have to be brave to do these things. And looking back when you were describing that reminds me that whenever I first met Bad Taste Crew, because we travelled to Oma to go and meet them, but it was the exact same feeling of going, sitting at the back of the room and just observing and watching and trying to build up the courage to go and ask them to kind of, can you show me some stuff? But then trying to take it home, you know. Beautiful memories though, you know, like when you look back at those early years, you realize the type of person you were back then, you know, like who knew that little bit of curiosity will now mean that you're in Ireland breakdancing on the other side of the world.
Exactly,
do you know what I mean? It's like, it's
exactly.
crazy how I always think about this. Like, the first moment I saw breaking, that changed my life. And I didn't know it was going to change my life until, well, I'm here now, right? And I'm looking back, it was like, it's the moment I saw that on TV, that was the moment I oriented towards this. So it was the same for you, you know, the first glimpse, and then it gets you, you know?
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So,
So explain to everyone listening, I guess, like, your journey from studying in China to then, I suppose, working for the Confucius Institute and then coming over to Belfast. Like, how did you end up in Belfast, and why did you choose Belfast?
yeah, in China we have a word similar like karma, like destiny, but even more
Complex?
complicated than this word. So that means that just happens without any like your determination, or it just happened from from the universe or from like your subconscious, you know, it just happened. So because I meant to go to Italy to work here, but I got rejected by the visa. So I spent the whole year in my hometown to wait for the visa application. But in the end, I got rejected. Back at the time, I was learning a little bit Italian. And until that was from February 2023 until the 2024. So it's the whole 1 year and a half. So I was waiting and waiting. In the end, I saw another job offer to have a chance to work here in Belfast. So that night, I still remember that night.
Did you have to go and Google Belfast? Where is Belfast? What?
Yeah. Actually, it's my like very first time to hear about where the Belfast is and the local thing, you know, the folklore, everything. So that night, I did my homework. I searched a load of things online, and that was a night I remember. I couldn't fall asleep. I was so excited and also like a little bit nervous because sometimes it's strange when you decided to make some choice, right? When you picture this in your mind, very likely it will happen. You are thinking about these pictures that will happen in the future. You are trying to just think about this, you know, before this happened. So I was thinking like, what am I gonna do? How do I spend my time if I pass a interview, if I got this job? So I was thinking the life is here. I was checking the map. I was checking online about like the transport, about like some cities, like some scenic board, some stories. I was thinking about this, and then finally I passed the prelim, the interview, to get a chance to come here, and then until the July in 2024, I finally got sorted with the visa stuff. Then I could have time, you know, to slowly, you know, to enjoy a little bit, because that was like a very long time waiting. So anxious, you know, because I didn't get any paid, you know, because I have to wait for the visa, for the interview, for the results. So I couldn't find another job. So I just stayed in my home. So I started to search Belfast breaking, Belfast b-boys.
Right.
And then I found Fifth Element, and I just find any random account, and I sent message to say, hey bro, my name is Gawa, I'm from China. I will be working in Belfast for 2 years. Do you have a place, a venue to practice? Can I join you? And then the guy replied, he said, welcome bro, my name's Paul. So we have a charity coffee element. So let me know when you're here. So I was like, okay, right? So that was kind of like a moment, right? The beginning of the story. So everything's like kind of organized, right? Under the circumstances that you didn't realize, right? What's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then when I finally came to here, I sorted everything out. And then when I came to this place here, I realized I'm so blessed. I'm so lucky because my apartment is over here,
Yeah.
like 6 minutes away.
Yeah.
And here's the fifth element.
Yeah.
And then I work over there, another 2 or 3 minutes. It's all around here.
Well, you've got this like triangle of work, Fifth Element, and
Yeah.
your apartment where you live, like all in walking distance of each other. I think it's beautiful that you were able, and this is something about hip hop culture that we realize worldwide, right? If you're into hip hop in any way, shape, or form, you can go to a different country.
Yeah.
More than likely, like you did online, you do a bit of research, you can find a crew, you can
Yeah.
find MCs, DJs, breakers, graph heads.
Exactly.
And more than likely, if you reach out to those people, they're going to be like, okay, you're into the same culture and you clearly get it. Like, you're
Yeah.
more than welcome here.
Yeah.
But I think it's awesome the way, like, I remember, like, near 2 years ago, whenever you first arrived, and Pash here being like, yo, his new B-boy's kind of just joined. He's called Gawa. Like, he's sick. You want to see him sort of type thing. And then, you know, as I do in the building, you walk around, you're doing music stuff, you're working with artists, you pop your head into the breaking room and you see the likes of you doing head spins and all sorts of crazy stuff, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, this is brilliant. But I think it's beautiful that you didn't really know what you were stepping into here.
Exactly.
And you came the whole way from China. You've kind of got like this second family now in Belfast that loves you and is like, we want Gawa to stay forever. And the reason we do want you to stay forever is, like I say, at the start of the podcast, you've been such an asset to this charity. Like, your input, your volunteering, the way I've watched you help young kids like grow as B-boys and B-girls. A lot of that has come down to yourself and Pash putting the time in and investing in young people as well. But I've watched you perform in some amazing performances. Like
Thanks,
last year we had Clash.
Yeah.
And I think it's just beautiful that you've also been able to step into Fifth Element and not only like take part in performances and help kids grow and all the rest of it, but
Yeah.
you've also shared a lot about your culture with us. That has been really beautiful. And I think it's awesome the way we can learn from your culture, and likewise, hopefully you can learn from culture in Belfast
Definitely.
too.
It's like mutual learning.
Yeah.
For sure, like definitely what I've learned from you is discipline. Like that Asian discipline that I severely lack, but it's great because I'm building it. But no, I'm going, like, the fact that you did move over here, I think, is very similar to that moment that you went to meet those B-boys in another city. Do you know what I mean? Like, to be brave then, this is just another version of that, I guess. Like, you're going to uproot, move to another country and try and land and try and go again. Like, that, I think, comes with the sort of culture of hip-hop and breaking, especially this idea of, no, I'll try it, I'll do it, and I'll be comfortable in how uncomfortable it is. Do you know what I mean? And that is the idea of jumping in a cypher or going to visit other B-boys in another country or city. It's to kind of go, right, it's not about me, there's something bigger out there, and I need to trust that it will work out if I go here. So fair play to you, man, because and fair play to Italy as well, by the way, for rejecting you.
Yeah, because if Italy didn't reject you, we might not have you.
Yeah,
You know?
that's how life and the universe will lead you to, right? You never know. It's my adventure.
Mate, and if you had moved to Italy, you probably would have been about 40 miles from the closest training spot and about 20 miles from your work. You know, you landed
you
here
never know,
and all just came together.
Or even you couldn't find any like b-boy practice.
Right.
You never know.
But like somehow, like, and this is the funny thing, because our scene in Belfast is probably one of the smallest scenes in Europe, you know what I mean? And the Irish scene as well, for that matter. But there's a purity here. Like, I think the way we do things is much more original or classic in that sense of like real hip hop. We're doing it for the love of hip hop culture. With that love, you only need a handful of people for it to thrive, right? But yeah, like, we always have this sort of I always have this thing in our heads that like, oh, we're just a small tiny city, small tiny country with a few b-boys, like. But to hear that your experience has been so positive makes us realize that what we're doing as a hip hop community here is probably as impactful as some of the biggest scenes in the world. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
it's not about the quantity of people doing something, it's the quality of the
Exactly.
of what is being done. And I think that's what we do here, and that's why, like, when you stepped in the door, our level went up as well because of that. And you embody the same ethos, same values. Man, the day you walked in, for the first time I met you, is the same way you've introduced your or said hello every day since. You know, it was all, hey, how's it going? Like, that was the first moment you were like that. You've never changed that.
Yeah.
I've never seen you sad or angry or having a bad day. Do you
It's
know what I mean?
very hard to try to be sad when you are in the studio, when you enjoy the music, when
Yeah.
you have a group of lads, you know, dancing together. You know, that's the energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very hard to be sad under that energy. You know.
Yeah.
So
But I think that's one of the beautiful things that you've brought to this building is your energy and your passion for life and just your willingness to almost try new things, explore new things, go to
Yeah.
new places.
Yeah.
And that's something beautiful too that I've witnessed because, you know, there was a phase there like a couple of months ago where it was like, where's Gawa? And then I was looking on social media and you were like across Europe traveling.
Yeah.
And I think that's been beautiful as well. The fact that you've been able to come so far from China, settle in Belfast, but Belfast has really been that that central place that it's easy for you to travel into Europe.
Aye, the access
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
Europe, yeah.
And I mean, just tell us like some of the places that you've been to in Europe that you've explored as well.
Yeah. I traveled to France, south of France, the Nice, beautiful, the coastline,
Yeah.
and the Spain, Barcelona, right?
Yeah.
And also Italy, the Milan, and also Switzerland.
Yeah.
Yeah, very like
Seeing you with the mountains
it.
in the background and stuff. Yeah.
like the heaven, you know.
Yeah.
And also I traveled to the Iceland. It's like another planet, you
Yeah.
know. And also I traveled to when I was in my university. That was my very first time to travel to the Europe, Czech Republic, the Prague city. So that actually was the moment and the time when I decided to push myself to step out of the comfort zone and try to study very hard about the English because back at the time I couldn't speak very fluent English, you know. So I was trying my best to learn to improve my English speaking, especially listening skills. And then when I had a chance to live here for roughly 1 month to learn English, I tried so hard, and then I realized, wait, is here some hip hop competition called Outbreak Europe somewhere here? And I searched online, and I noticed it's very close. It's in Slovakia, right? So I spent another like roughly like 10 hours bus from the Prague all the way to Banska Bystrica in Slovakia, where they had the Outbreak Europe. That was my very first time for a proper international breaking competition. My mind
First
was
time out of-
blowing off.
First time outside China. Well, yeah, I know you said you've been to Thailand, but first time outside Asia, I guess, or into Europe for you? Was it the first time coming to Europe?
Definitely, very first time, yeah. Because before I came to Czech, I couldn't have a chance to talk to a foreigner, a lot of foreigner. I couldn't find a lot of them in China. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of chances to talk. You know, to practice. And then when I was here, I saw loads of b-boys. I saw on videos online, and I remember some of them when they had events in China. I met Paul, and I actually met him 1 year earlier in China. It's a workshop. It's called Battle King in Ningbo City. So he was one of the judges, and actually the interpreter for workshop was another b-boy, also a MC called Mike, and I think they just finished the after party after the jam, and they were totally hangover. So we were waiting in the studio for the workshop with the Uzi Rock, with the Pole One, but no one came in, you know, to translate. And I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna help to start because no one want to waste the time, and I have to take the train back to my university city, right, that day. So I need to seize the time. So I talked to Uzi Rock. I said, I'll be your interpreter to start. So after that, I thought my English was not good enough to understand, to talk to him. But it turns out I understand everything.
Nice.
And I helped everybody's ear because back the time, not everyone could, to speak very fluent English, as a B-boys.
Yeah.
So I helped to translate with the workshop with the Uzi Rock and also with Paul Wan. So that's why when I met Paul Wan, Uzi Rock, and also Vicious, who taught breaking in Beijing before, so I was in his class before. So when I met those B-boys in Outbreak Europe, that was so amazing.
Yeah.
And I taught to a lot of B-boys. I ciphered. I watched loads of amazing battles, and I actually didn't have a lot of money. I only have like 150 euros. And I didn't eat any proper meal. I ate the spaghetti, the bread, for those 2 days. No any food, just bread, and then some chips and water. That's it.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't afford it. And then when I got the venue, I realized I still need to pay I remember the entrance fee was 60 euros. I was like, what the? I only got 150 and half of the money gone. And I still have to keep like 30 or 20 euros for the taxi back from the venue, from the hotel where I stayed to the bus station, right? So I was like pissed off. I was like, I need to save a lot of money, but it's fine. I was there, so I just need to enjoy the moment, to witness, to observe, to enjoy the moment more. So that was my first experience in Europe.
Wow, that's so
Yeah.
funny. Like,
That's like another adventure.
I just
Yeah.
want to point out to all the listeners as well that this is a very typical breaking story in the sense that you'll go to another country, you'll starve for 2 days, you'll spend all your money, and you'll come home very tired. It's like it's like we've all been there where you're just trying to starve, but you want that experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just can't afford to have any fun. You're just right. I'm here for the breaking, and then I'll go home with that.
Especially
So-
you're alone. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a student.
And breakers aren't known for being the most financially capable of people. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
now fair play for that adventure, man. And like, what age were you then whenever you did this?
That was 2018. So I was
24.
20. No, not 24.
24.
I'm 30 this year. It's 2026, right?
Oh right, so yeah, 22.
I was around like 21, 22. Yeah,
fair
21,
play.
22.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
It's good though. You've had fantastic experiences traveling Europe and also working and seeing fantastic breakers and learning from them as well.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned one there, for example.
Yeah.
And that's someone that we've connected with over the years as well.
Again, just for the listeners, Po One is like a legendary breaker from the States who we've actually had in Fifth Element
Yeah.
and we've interviewed him. But he travels all around the world inspiring a lot of people, and he's been to China and
Yeah.
Gawa's met him, we've met him, and yeah.
Beautiful human, like the way he spent time with us, and by the signs of it, he's doing obviously a similar thing where you were in Czech Republic and stuff
Yeah,
like that as
yeah.
well. But that goes back to that. No matter where you go in the world, you can find a hip hop collective.
Exactly.
You can connect with them, and that's something that I've noticed with the breakers. Like it exists here in Ireland, where Paul is like, here, Daz, I'm away to Wexford this week because we're breaking down there, or I'm in Dublin with the kids and
Yeah.
we're breaking in a competition. So, but it's something that exists throughout the world. I find is like I've been as far as wide, as Australia, New Zealand, America. I've always connected with hip hop heads because we're into that mutual culture, And I suppose that's something we want to understand. You've given us like a bit of a glimpse into what it's like in China, like growing up in a rural town, discovering breaking because someone showed you, like, here's a move. And then out of that curiosity, you've traveled to learn more, you've connected with more people, and you've learned more. But I suppose from like an outsider looking into China, what I see coming out of China is that there is a love for hip hop culture.
Oh, massive, yeah.
Massive, yeah.
And the new generation in China is a completely new generation to the previous ones, by the way. Like, just from traveling in China, you know, I noticed, sorry to interrupt there, Daz, but like traveling in China, I noticed that like the older generation were less open, but the newer generation, the younger generation, like you, are full of energy and full of desire to kind of go and explore the world, you know?
Yeah, because of the media you got, right? So you have more chance, you know, to understand, you know, to get involved. Yeah.
And is there anything like Fifth Element that exists in China? Like, are you aware of anything?
This is something I learned during my 2 year stay here, you know, about community.
Okay.
Before I came here, we have a similar Chinese word translated from English, community. That means you live in certain area. So there's a organization. It's also called community, right? In the name of the district, the road where you live. And then it's more like to help the residents in that area to do some of the civil.
So it's more a formal idea of community, the system of a community rather than a community spirit.
Yeah, so they can help you to do like the medical insurance stuff, like the government paperwork stuff, you know, and like if you will move house, if you will move to another city, you will need them to help to get some like the seals, you know, the stamps. So it's the community in my head, right? So during the past 2 years when I spend the time in Fifth Element here, so I realized community here is totally different the one we got in China. So community here, from my understanding, right? So for example, Fifth Element, it's like a charity. You can help people to, no matter it's help to learn some like skills, to have fun, you know, to connect with the people, or most importantly, to help people to do like help their like mental health. This is something I never heard in China. You know, and also you could have a wonderful experience with the different people from different cities, even different countries, right? To share about each other's like culture and the stories and the music and the love, everything, right? It's kind of like a platform, you know, a platform to help each other and also like to get like a mutual energy.
Yeah.
Correct.
You know,
yeah.
to help people to achieve their dreams.
Yeah.
You know, and it's more like a sense of a way to say to help.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because like there's two ways, like you described what a community is in China in terms of what it does, but then there's a community in the sense of how a community should be, I guess, and that's what we do here, what we try to represent as a community. Well, this is actually how you should treat people, and to us, community is more than the area that you live in. Communities can exist online with people you've never met, so the idea of community is in our heads and hearts, if you know what I mean. So for us, like community, I've become part of a community of people that I don't even know where they lived, you know, but they're part of this sense of something bigger, right? And that we all give to, and it gives us something back, you know. So community to me is like a spirit. There's something around all of this that is holding us and keeping us together, you know.
It's all about the relationship, right, between human beings. You know, you will share the stories and you will build the bridges to connect each other, right? To break the walls, to break the obstacles, you know, to connect people, right?
Yeah.
So it's exactly what happens here.
Yeah.
But it's nice to hear it from you and your perspective, coming from a totally different foreign place to what Belfast is.
Yeah.
And being able to understand that, okay, this is a place where I can connect with people, I can learn, but I can also share.
Yeah.
And those people also want to learn off me.
Exactly.
And
that's
I think
proper integration.
that
you know
is,
what I mean? Like that's
yeah.
the way integration should work, and you're the best example of how someone should and can integrate into a community and be accepted as one of us, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I feel so like blessed, and I feel like so warm in my heart because every time, imagine like you're living in a totally different unfamiliar society, a system, right? So you have to start everything.
Yeah, it's
right?
like a new start.
Yeah, like different language, different like religion, different way of how society works.
Yeah.
It's all brand new. You have to start from zero.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
And building those relationships take time as well. You
yeah.
know,
So
there's a lot of people.
that's I think for me the how it works as a community, right? It's like a bridge for me, you know, to get to know all of you, all of the amazing people I met here, you know, to help, also to share the love, you know, to offer their kindness, you know. So for me, that's most like amazing and incredible thing I ever heard, you know. So once the moment I step in the fifth element, I still remember the first night we ciphered together. You know, it's not only about like the hip hop community. It's also about the human heart, the human beings, right? So when you dance, you listen to the same music. You listen in China, right? It's kind of like universal, right? No matter what language you speak, but music and the dance is the universal language.
It's music and dance and art that is the tool that we use in this building to bring people together,
Exactly.
right? And it's hip hop culture, the wider hip hop culture. I'm talking like worldwide hip hop culture, right? So it's you've discovered hip hop in China, we've discovered hip hop here in Belfast, and that's that mutual thing where it doesn't matter if you couldn't even speak English or not. Just that understanding of this guy, like he can break, like that would have been enough for you and Paul to connect, even if you didn't speak the same language.
You don't need to be able to speak the same language to show respect, to show gratitude, to show appreciation, to show you can communicate so much without words.
But it's also but like I say, it's hip hop culture and the tools of art, music, and dance. That's effectively what's bringing us all together and making us connect. But I would love to know a bit more about like China. Like I said, is there something like fifth element that exists? You've explained like, okay, culturally, like yes, there's a community in China. It just works in a slightly different way. Whereas you've discovered over here community, and the community we have about here it's not just like connecting to enjoy and have fun, but it's also connecting to help and support people and help them with their mental health, help them with their physical states as well. But like whenever I'm watching videos on, you know, Instagram or whatever and stuff like that, I see like quite a lot of like what seems to be a popular breaking culture within China. Like a lot of young kids going to studios, for example, and learning much the way they do here, right? But it seems like there's like a bit of a cultural buzz, particularly around breaking in China. And yes, we know about things like K-pop and influences of R&B and kind of black orientated music that's fallen into China to a certain degree. But breaking seems to be that one element of hip hop culture that seems to be quite strong in China. Would you agree? Would you say like there's a lot of people into breaking and a lot of schools, things like that?
Yeah. So for the first question, my answer is no. There's no such thing like fifth element ever exists in China. Maybe they do, but not like this scale or not this quality. It's just from my experience. I never heard about this. I never had a chance to visit, you know, to talk to them. So for community, or I can say in China we have more like a studio. You know, it's maybe like a hip hop studio or like a breaking studio where you have a group of your crewmates, your friends, you know, to practice every day, have sessions, you know, to live a b-boy life, but
disconnected from all other elements of hip-hop.
If there any other connection, there will be connecting to like graffiti or rap, you know, skateboard or something. It's not like a fifth element. It connects with all of the anything I can imagine, like with the the graffiti, the art, right? And then even you are doing before that's like coaching the young teenagers, right? About football.
Yeah.
And also like we now Fifth Element having like loads of different activities about like a theater, you know, about like mental health,
Yeah.
about like the Hersey, the
women's
the programs, and also the radio show. What's the
Skank FM, yeah.
yeah, the FM stuff and the DJing stuff. It's more like a very integral, like all rounded thing together, right? To mix it together. It's not only about hip hop community,
Yeah.
right?
It's about the arts, really. You know,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
hip-hop
the
is
arts, the music.
core. Yeah, hip hop's the core of what drives us.
Yeah.
But we try to pull in all the different types of communities through art, music, and dance. You know.
Well,
Yeah.
that was kind of like the thing with Fifth Element in terms of whenever we first came together and started this, the intention was to have the four main elements of hip hop
Yeah.
together in the same building, because prior to Fifth Element and the one building with all the elements in it, all the elements existed in Belfast,
Yeah.
but they existed in separate venues or separate locations. So, for example, Pash would have been running his breaking ciphers and cipher sessions at T13, which
Yeah.
was a skate park. My studio and the DJs and the MCs would have been in the docks. And then the graph artists and all the rest of it, they would have just been running around the streets and tagging up everything, right? But there was no central location for all of us.
Yeah.
And the only time that all of us ever came together was when an event happened. Okay, so for example, again, Pash runs cipher sessions and he gets on the phone and goes, "DAZ, you come down and DJ at this. And by the way, if you have any MCs, they can come along and rap. And then we'll reach out to the graph artist and then they can come and graph at the event as well, right?" So when events happened, you got all four elements of hip hop.
Right.
But when there was no events or nothing like that happening, we were all in separate locations doing our
Yeah,
own
exactly.
thing, right? And we all knew of each other and liked each other and supported each other. But the aim of Fifth Element, and what I find is the most significant thing about Fifth Element, is when we actually acquired a building and all four elements could exist in the one building.
Yeah.
Then the snowball effect of support started to happen, where, like even yesterday, for example, me and Pash were out there in the car park doing graffiti.
Nice.
Right.
Like teaching.
We were teaching, right? But whenever we were out there, that's just a result of us being around more graphers, right?
Yeah. of
Yeah.
course,
Who are influencing us in the building to take up another craft within hip hop or another element within hip hop.
Yeah.
But what we're starting to discover now is that Fifth Element is kind of rare in the sense that there's not too many buildings worldwide
Yeah.
that exist where all four elements of hip hop are
Exactly.
within the one space, you know?
It's almost crazy to think about, because as hip hop heads around the world preach the four elements, it's
Yeah.
like very well, they do come together for the sake of producing and creating an event or this or whatever. But yes, to come together and almost like live together and grow together is a very different mindset.
Yeah.
And not everybody wants to do it. You know, we had people when we started Fifth Element join, but then they all fell off because they weren't getting what they wanted. But the ones who stayed were all growing as a result of collaborating together.
Yeah.
You know, and the ones who disappeared are the ones who didn't want to collaborate.
Yeah, that's very amazing. Yeah. So for the second question, you asked me about like, is there a like massive community about hip hop in
B-boys.
China?
Yeah.
It is. So breaking, especially breaking, I can say along with other dance styles, popping, hip hop, locking, but primarily it's about breaking, because after the Olympic Games, right? Breaking is part of the project. So in China, breaking is a proper industry.
Okay.
So loads of a b-boy live by this. That's their part-time job or
Full-time.
full-time job.
Yeah.
You work in a studio to coach the kids, or just to have a place to practice, right? To do some performance, to organize a battle. But primarily it's for teaching kids, because there are two types of kids. So first type will just take breaking as a hobby. You know, their parents want them just to get out from the house, stop doom scrolling from TikTok stuff. So that's one type. Another type's like you'll find some kids, you're so talented, right? About like power, about control, about their interest. So they practice very hard, and their parents support them so much. So they won't be like a pro or half pro, because now in China you can find a breaking club in primary school, high school, university. So even now in China, if you are not very good at academic study, right, you can just push yourself to practice breaking and then try to pass the exam, you know, the transition exam to the high school, or from high school to university by breaking.
So hang on. Are you saying that breaking is part of like your education system almost?
Your curriculum?
So like breaking is offered in primary schools, for example? Or
Yeah,
breaking
not nationwide.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
nationwide, but just like loads of big cities especially, you can go for the transitional exam as a b-boy, as a breaker, right? Even though you don't have like a professional breaking coach or lesson when you're in high school or in the university, but still you have a chance to go to the high school, a key high school or key university, by breaking, because you know China has large population.
Yeah.
So imagine, like, in Chinese people's idea, it's better for every kid to go to university.
Yeah.
Right. So imagine like you're competing with over millions, 10 millions of high school students, right? Pupils to compete with you academically. So if you choose breaking, it will be easier. So that's kind of like a chance, you know, even for me. In China, back my school time, my academic study was like at the bottom rank, because in our school you have to rank from top to bottom, see who is doing great in the academic study and then who is bad. You will see it. It's all open, right? So school will release your results, right? So everyone can see the ranking, see how many support like points, scores you got, and then I was always at the bottom, right? I don't think I'm like lazy student or I'm stupid. It's only about the whole system of education, which I don't like. You know, I'm kind of like getting bored, you know. So that's why I started when I started breaking. You know, I find my interest and enthusiasm. You know, I made a lot of efforts for breaking. But that's also comes to another topic, which will be that breaking taught me a lot of things. Breaking taught me how to be like hardworking, how to be like
disciplined.
Disciplined. You know, to do something like persistent.
Yeah, plus your confidence and all the rest of it, stuff like that. Like, I mean, that's something I noticed. Like, I mean, Gawa, you're in here like near enough 4 or 5 days a week training. Like, I know you've got Paul and all the rest of them, like, kind of doing physical exercise and actually building up strength. But then there's 2 nights, three nights during the week where you're down here actually working on breaking as well. And then, you come to events and stuff as well.
Exactly.
But there's definite dedication there, hard work ethic. I see you as being confident as well, and that's probably due to you dancing and due to performing and things like that too. So there's many life skills that breaking's kind of given you, which is brilliant. And that's again what we do down here. Like, we work with young people who maybe lack confidence, or maybe haven't had like great social interactions before. It's about performing and arts and culture and all the rest of it. These are things that can build your confidence, they can educate you further, and they can actually give you life skills to go and progress further, you know. But it's class just to hear that, like, China does have this kind of fascination with breaking, and I love watching on socials again, like these videos of just like Chinese kids meeting in the park and just having a battle straight away. You know, they come with their backpacks and someone just drops their
Right,
backpack
okay.
and things like that, you know.
But their level is insane. Like,
Yeah.
and this is again,
crazy.
you know, I think as you were saying there, the level of competition in China because of the population,
Yeah.
like that just pushes everybody up. Like when I watch some of these Chinese breakers teaching kids, and they have about 50 kids in a hall, all looking like a small army, repeating the same moves and repeating, and regiment. And I'm looking at these kids, and I'm like, fucking hell, what's China preparing for here? Like, you know, because these kids,
Breaking war?
yeah, but send them in the real wars. I think they're going to win. No, like their level is so insane. And then I compare it to like how I teach, and I'm always like critical of myself then, because I'm like, my kids could be at that level if I pushed them as hard and the competition was as intense. But then I'm wondering from your perspective, like it can't be all good, I suppose, like how kids are taught in China. Yes, they're getting pushed to the top.
Yeah.
But what price are they paying mentally, physically, for this level of achievement from such a young age? Like seeing 10-year-olds doing one-handed air flares, like a move that nobody else can do, but China's drilling them, and parents are pushing their kids to the max. It feels counterintuitive almost, despite the fact that they're so good, you know, because young Alex, and for everyone listening, young Alex is a Chinese student of ours. He's living in Belfast, and he comes through the classes, and his mum was explaining why Alex prefers dancing here than when he danced in China.
Yeah.
And he said it was because of the attitude towards the dance was not about being the best or learning the hardest moves and compete. It was about community.
Yeah, about having fun, about smile, you know, about the love.
Yeah.
But again, coming together as a group of kids who want to learn and grow together as a crew, and to help each other eventually. Like, but it's not me forcing them to be a certain way. I want them to evolve at their own speeds. Some will evolve faster than others, but ultimately, if they're loving it and they're happy, that's more important to me than if they're winning trophies.
Yeah, more better to like remix both, right?
Yeah.
Because from my perspective, I would say Chinese younger generation is like world level for breaking, right? That's a good thing because you're practicing and training so hard, you know, to get a certificate, you know, to prove themselves. It's amazing. They spend like, I would say they practice every day after school, after like maybe 6 or 7 p.m. until maybe 10. That's their daily life. They practice every day, especially like during weekend or in the summer, winter holiday. So they will have a summer camp or winter camp to train for 20, 30 days every day. You know, that's very hard. Even though some adult b-boys in China will get so amazed and surprised how high level those kids can achieve. You know, that's one thing. It's amazing. But for me, I think it's especially for kids breaking, it's getting more and more like Olympic, more and more like getting like an athlete b-boy. You know, not like a original b-boy like in my mind. So it will have some like negative effect, you know. For example, you will lose a passion, you will lose a love for breaking. If there are not too many competitions left, you know, you probably
Or if
will
it's only competitions. If it's only competitions, then
yes, all competitions.
it's not about culture.
Not too many jams, you know.
Yeah.
So if imagine there are people surrounded you, right, by all of the competitive dancers, right? So it's very hard for you to appreciate the music, to enjoy the dance itself, you know, to express yourself. So I think
There's
for me,
more pressure to win. more pressure to compete, more pressure to be the best. And it's like you say, if you take it to that level, sometimes you can lose the actual love and just the simple enjoyment of dancing.
Exactly.
And that's why we all started. For
Yeah.
a simple love to do it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's the same as DJing or MCing as well. Like, you can get into it because you've got a passion and a love for it, and that's why you do it first and foremost. But then as you become an artist, it's like, oh, okay, like now I have to actually get streams, I have to sell music, I have to get performances, and then you can put too much pressure on yourself to the point where actually this isn't even enjoyable anymore because you're trying to
lose a passion.
You lose passion. So there's always that balance of, it's good to compete, but not to the level where you're ruining your own passion and love for what you actually
Don't forget
do.
why you start.
Exactly.
Right? Because imagine, like, think about like how hip hop originated, right?
Yeah,
So
it didn't originate from like, here, let's go to a battle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It had a
battle is
element.
important, but not everything.
Exactly.
It's not everything.
It's, for me, competition is tradition, as one of the things is that we say in breaking, right? And battling, it comes from that old school sort of gang attitude of, facing off against somebody. And I think it's very important, battling and competing, but it's the way competitions have evolved is weird to me, because there's, like you say, it's very Olympic, it's very, very commercial, it's very flashing lights, glitz, glam, stage performance type battles, and it's if you go back to the essence of battling and breaking, it was on the street, it was in a cipher, and it was you versus somebody else, and it was a personal thing. It wasn't this, okay, there's a prize, or there's a camera, TV crew watching, there's a sponsorship, I hope I get sponsored by Nike. And I think all B-boys today look like Formula 1 cars. They're just covered in logos, and it's like, that looks whack. Like breaking and hip hop's about fashion, and now we're just putting Mercedes logo, Nike logo, another logo on the back. It's like, are you a darts player or are you a dancer?
No, I hear you. But then I suppose that's that line between turning something like a passion into a career and doing it for life. Like, there is going to be some sort of consequence or some sort of stuff you have to give up or something.
Of course, I'm not hating on it.
It's
just, if everybody's looking at that going, that's success, that's the problem. Go after it, get your logos, whatever, get your sponsorships, make your money. Not going to deny that. But everybody else needs to stop thinking like this is what success looks like.
Well, I think that's where we're blessed in this building, because success to us is like connecting with people, helping people, supporting people, helping people personally progress. That's our reward. And it's not really like, oh, we need finance. We're like, finance isn't like a reward for us down here. A reward is actually working with a young person or an adult and helping them actually progress with what they want to do as a creative, or progress into a different mental space that's better for them, for example, or stuff like that. So there's that thin line between turning things into a career and taking it too serious to the point where you can almost ruin your passion for what you originally loved, which was just dance. But I think it's really interesting just getting these perspectives from you, coming from a totally different background, but obviously all of us having a similar love and passion, which is hip hop. And look, we've been talking here for near an hour, right? You said earlier on, we'll do a half an hour talk. This could go on for days, right? But before we kind of come to an end of this and all the rest of it, I would love to know what your experience has been like settling in Belfast. What do you like about Belfast? What do you love about Belfast? Is there any other things as well that maybe you think, oh, I don't like that about Belfast, Just like an honest opinion from you, Gawa, of what it's been like to settle in Belfast and what it's been like here, and the people you've met and the places you've been. Have you enjoyed it?
So I have a few ideas about like why I enjoyed so much staying in Belfast at the past 2 years. So first, it's all about people, about the amazing human beings I met here. I met lots of people, and they show great, kindness and support for me. So it's not only about in breaking aspect, but also like in my life. You know, there's so many like tiny helps, you know, so many like smiles, you know, to encourage you, you know, to support you.
Yeah.
And all the kind words, their attitude, you know, that's the first thing. You know, it's all about like the human beings,
Yeah.
the human itself, you know, the relationship between the different people. And the second thing is like I really enjoyed the the attitude, the mindset here in Belfast, you know,
Yeah.
that people have. You know, feels like everyone's like so positive, you know, so
Yeah,
people
yeah.
don't like something like very sad, something that, you know, people will try to turn that negative thing into positive
Yeah.
attitude.
Yeah.
You know, because I learned the histories about what happened here, you know, about like everything, the history. And I realized even all of those sufferings, you know, still nowadays here, people can still show the love.
Yeah.
You know, even though there exists so many like bad things, you know, the racism, everything, you know, all the like isolation stuff, but still, the majority of people, their mindset, you know, their idea, you know, their love. So that is something always like influence me, you know, the mindset.
Yeah.
So when I talk to people, they're like every time their people is getting so, you know, so happy.
Yeah.
You know, I never seen like people is like a very with like a poker face. You know, something like this.
yeah,
People's
yeah.
always in very good energy, and that's not only about like their mindset. It's also about the life attitude. Even though sometimes the bad shitty weathers, you know, people
Yeah.
still, you know, enjoy their life. You know, I can see people have very good attitude for some, you know, festivals, holidays. People will dress up in a very proper way, you know, to celebrate.
Yeah.
That's a really good way to enjoy, to appreciate your life. You know, I think compared to China, we are making like load of development and progress in economy
Yeah.
stuff. You know, the facilities, infrastructures, the facilities. But I think people is like a little bit in a rush. You know, people in China need to slow down to feel, you know, to enjoy their life.
Yeah.
Not always like in a hurry to.
Not work.
Yeah, exactly.
Not-
So
yeah.
that's something I feel so different here.
Yeah.
Right. And the third thing I would like to say it's the fifth element itself, because it's really becoming my second home here. You know, my life is so simple. You know, except working in my office and sleeping in my apartment. Fifth element is a place that I spend most of my time here. You know, you can check the registration. I'm nearly every day here.
Yeah, well, that's it,
Yeah.
man. Like I say, you train here, you practice here, you're involved in events, you volunteer, all the rest of it. This has become a second home for you, and we love that. And we just love how much you've added value to our community, how much you've taught us, how much you've shared with us. Even just this podcast, again, I'm just
Yeah.
learning from you, learning from your culture, learning from your way of life and the differences. But I'm so blessed as well to hear, Gawa, that your experience in Belfast has been good. And I think what you pointed out there is like Belfast people have this resilient attitude because of the troubles in our past and all the hardship that we've been through. What still is remarkable to me is that even in the hardest and most toughest times and difficult situations, Belfast people still can make a joke out of something. They can still
Yeah.
have a laugh. They can still be like, all right, this is tough, but we'll get through it. We'll get on with it, and we'll laugh about this later. Do you know what I mean?
That's a lesson I learned.
Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah, and I think that's awesome that you've recognized that from this city.
Exactly.
And I'm also really delighted because obviously just a couple of weeks ago, you heard about the racist riots that were going on in Belfast. And I'm happy that that hasn't deterred you from the city. And I'm also happy that you have been able to recognize that the majority of the people that you have dealt with have all been warm, loving, kind, and accepting towards you. And I think that's awesome that, you know, we achieve that in this building, and we're all about integration, and we're all about zero discrimination. Everyone is welcome here.
Yeah.
But I'm just so happy that you've had a positive stay in Belfast. You've enjoyed this place, And we're going to be sad to see you go.
Me too.
We genuinely are. And that brings us to our next part, is that we're going to have a celebration event to celebrate you and the input that you've given us and the great experiences that you've given us here at Fifth Element. And we're inviting everyone to come to Fifth Element on Saturday the 27th from 2 to 6. We've got DJs, we've got all the breakers, we've got some breakers travelling up from down south as well to be with us. And obviously you've had glimpses of breaking with them and competing against them and stuff like that. But it's important for us to do that because you have been such an asset here and we really appreciate you. So we want to invite everyone to come along on Saturday to witness you break as well. This might be the last chance for some people to see you do your moves, right?
Yeah, maybe.
But we also know that with your experience and with the time that you've spent here, that you do want to return here one day.
Yes.
So you've got plans now. You've just explained before the podcast that you've been accepted with a travel visa to go to America and you want to explore a bit of America. You've kind of explored bits of Europe and you've had your time with us in Belfast. But America is amazing for hip hop culture, obviously, because that's where it was born and raised.
Exactly.
But at the same time, we would love to be able to help you to get an artist visa or a visa to return to Belfast at some stage. So we're going to try and raise money whenever we do this event on Saturday. But it's also just important for us to have a moment with you, to appreciate you, to celebrate you and everything that you've given us. So from myself and the Fifth Element family, I would like to thank you very much for influencing our lives. And you've made me laugh so hard so many times, Gawa.
Yeah.
Just, you know, from walking up Sleeved Honoured and doing a hike with you and hearing some of the Belfast phrases and sayings that you were saying.
Yeah.
Just had me in stitches. But you've always just had a smile on your face and positive energy. So it's been an absolute blessing to talk to you today. It's been a blessing to have you here for the past 2 years. And hopefully we can have you return one day and continue to work with us at Fifth
Finger
Element.
crossed. Appreciate that. Yeah.
Big up, big time.
Thank you.
Nice one,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I think it's all like about the mutual energy.
Yeah.
You know, and also hip hop, also breaking is not only about personal.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
no matter you practice or you go for like a b-boy life or more stuff, it's more about like a community,
Yeah.
right? It's in some way breaking is like alone, right? You practice by yourself stuff, but in the end, hip hop culture is more like a social thing,
Yeah.
right? Also, we are human beings, we are social animals.
Yeah.
You know, you will get love, you'll receive energy from other people.
Yeah.
Right?
That's it.
So that's also how I learned from when I started all the way till I came here. You know, so it's not only about yourself. You know, it's all about
Yeah. Giving
the
back
people.
to the,
You're beneficial, getting beneficial from hip hop, but also you will return, right? You will pay back. You know,
Yes.
you show your love back to the hip hop community.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, the energy, you know, floors, you know, that how you get further and further,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, with this.
Well, it's something you've done here. You know, you've given
Yeah.
back here and it's noticeable.
Yeah, man, you're the perfect example of what we would say someone who practices hip hop is like. You know what I mean? It's like and this is why I'll be sad to lose you. You know, you're like my Chinese brother, bro. I'm gonna feel like I've got one arm after you leave. But yeah, just to echo everything Daz says, man, you've inspired me greatly. On top of just what we do here in Fifth Element, and my kids look up to you so much, like the kids I teach. And I know they're all going to be heartbroken when you leave, but we're going to continue on the attitude, the discipline. I will always refer back to you. I'll always mention you to my kids as a shining example of what it's like to be a proper b-boy, a proper hip-hop head, and a proper human being. So,
My
wicked, man.
pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Big up.
Nice one, mate.
Well, look, Gawa, on that note, thank you for taking time to be here and having this opportunity to talk with us on this podcast. But like I say, genuinely from the bottom of my heart and everyone at Fifth Element, thank you for being a part of Fifth Element and for giving our people so much as well, because that's something you didn't have to do and you've done that. And not only that, you've gone above and beyond. Like Paul put together a reel, that little video that you put together of some of Gawa's moments in Belfast, and you've performed in the SSE arena. You've performed in Clash, you've taught classes down here, were a part of Red Bull BC1.
You've been in some filming there recently with a film crew here, you know, so you're going to be...
Loads of events, loads of things, like, loads of memories.
And that's all within 2 years, and that was 2 years of us kind of almost just getting started ourselves within Fifth Element, but now as we go to the next phase, like what you achieved in 2 years, God knows what we could do in the next 10. So that's I hope personally you do come back, you know, and we continue this journey, you know. If not, you hear it here first, we're going to create a connection to China and start trying to do a cultural exchange with China, Chinese B-boys, our kids here. And if you don't come to Ireland, Ireland's going to come to you.
Right? Brilliant.
Yeah, don't be surprised.
There's a connection in the end.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because for me now, it's not like the word when I was a kid, you know, back the time, we spent like 1 or 2 days. That was like very long to go to another city. You know, but now you can just spend like half a day or 1 day to travel around the whole world. You know, the world is getting smaller. Right. So there's always a chance, because we're actually already building a bridge. Right. So that's the connection is
and the
already
community.
here.
The community continues, and this is what I said earlier. It's not about your location. A Fifth Element community could grow in because of you,
and then headquarters
and
Fifth Element.
You talking about bridges between people, bridges between countries, bridges between communities in both those countries as well. So let's hope that happens. You know?
Finger crossed.
Yeah, brilliant.
Sweet.
Well, look, Gawa, best of luck to you on your travels.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, we've got a few connections in America as well, so hopefully we can line you up with a few things in America if you're going to go that direction.
Right.
I know you've only just got your visa and you've yet to plan it and stuff like that, but just know that you've always got a home here. You've always got, you know, people we can hook you up with worldwide as well, and look, it's been an absolute pleasure. So thank you very much.
Nice one, man.
Thank you, man.
All right.
Cool.
Peace
out.
Peace out.
See you all next time. And if you want to see Gawa break and say goodbye to Gawa personally, make sure and get down to Fifth Element Saturday 27th of June from 2 to 6, where we're going to celebrate this man and everything that he's done for us. So peace out.
Peace.